Oh, you guys know what happened. Our 1 hour was up, but as soon as I looked up, I see you have 3 seconds left, and I was just like, and then it went. Oh my gosh. Am I frozen now? Oh, okay, good. Okay. Okay, so, oh gosh.
Oh no, not this again.
No, right?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try what I did before.
Okay. Yes, thank you guys for popping back on. We were getting into it about the COVID-19 situation, and then I looked up and I had like 3 seconds left before I could say anything. It was already done. So here we are, part two. Um, Thank you guys for joining us, and I've learned so much about honey and especially about the healing factors of honey. I'm definitely going to try that if I ever get another cut. And you guys try that as well, and let me know what you think. If you ever get another, like if you ever get a cut or a burn, you got to put some honey on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try this all natural honey for sure, and try to see the natural healing powers of honey. That's crazy. And then, of course, just learning about bees. Learning about just nature in general is very interesting. So I'm glad that Kenneth came on today and he was able to share so much interesting information about honey and so much interesting information about his brand, Lignum, right? That liquid gold. So we're waiting for him to pop back on again. And
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, this thing is messing up again. All
Uh-oh.
right. I am going to get extremely teased by my cousins about this.
What?
And my brother and sister, they're gonna say, you chat so much that Instagram has to cut you off. That's gonna be the
Oh my
running joke.
gosh.
That's gonna be the
No.
running joke. But
Okay,
yes.
so how about you try it one more time, and then if anything, we could just finish the conversation just by talking. Oh, he left. Okay. So yeah, if it doesn't work, we'll just finish the conversation. Even though we can't see him, we'll be able to talk to him and just I also have a couple more questions for him about just a couple more, guys. Just a couple more questions, and we're almost all the way through all the questions I have for him. But thank you so much for rejoining the conversation and learning with me about lignum honey and about all of the interesting things about the creation of honey and these crazy bees. The queen bee has no king, which we should have figured, right? The queen bee has no king because you never really hear them talking about the king bee. It's just the worker bees and the queen. So very interesting stuff. So you guys let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions for Kenneth about his brand. I'm also going to ask him to just reiterate what he was talking about earlier, where we could find him. And we know this weekend he's doing a launch, so we definitely want to support. If you're in the area and you could make it down, make sure that you guys do. Okay? So let's see. Hopefully we can pop back on.
Ah,
Thing. That's okay. You know what? We will still be, we can hear you, so we're going to talk. Um, I had a couple more questions for you if you don't mind.
yeah, sure.
Um, okay. Just about, we all see what's going on in the community, in our Black community right now. How important is it? You are a Black male out here, you're doing major things in our city, so big up yourself again for that. But how
Thank
important
you.
is it for our Black males to see this type of leadership?
Um, I think it's extremely important. And I think that it's not just for them to see, but it's also for us as those that are doing it to create spaces for the younger males to be creative and to do their thing as well. Um, and at the end of the day, we have to protect ours. Like it just is what it is. It's sad, but we are really the only culture that doesn't do it. The Asians do it. They do it very well. The Indians do it extremely well. The Jewish community does it extremely well. Congrats to them. They do it extremely well. But it's time for us to do it for ourselves. It's been time. You know, economics is the most single important factor in the stability of a culture and a people, especially nowadays. And if you look at our community, you know, our money, I go to work, I get a paycheck. That money will stay in my community once, maybe 1.5 times. So what that means is when I get paid, I typically won't go to a Black business to spend my money. I'll go to a Jewish, I'll go to the Asian supermarkets, I'll go to, you know what I mean, you know, a Chinese, whatever, restaurant. And nothing's wrong with experiencing and spending, but you also have to be very careful to keep your money within your own. In the Chinese and Jewish communities specifically, money stays and washes in their communities from 7 to 13 times before it leaves. So if you think about that, that means all their grocery stores, all their doctors, all their lawyers, all their mechanics, all their, you know, fashion stores, everything is Jewish and Chinese. They will not go somewhere else and spend their money because they understand the power of economics and the power of keeping the money in your culture. So with us doing this, with building Lignum, I hope that, you know, people see and not support. I'm not saying you should support me specifically, but support other Black businesses. Support those businesses that are going to create scholarships for our people, that are going to give back to things that matter to us, that are going to put on festivals and cultural exhibits that allow our children to see who they are and to have a stronger character growing up. Right. So I think it's just like you said, it's extremely important for the younger generation to see us do these things and to expose our youth to the fact that, you know what, you really need to support your own first and foremost before you move to somebody else, because nobody's going to take care of your own like you are. It just is what it is.
100%. I agree with you there for sure. So, like if you have any inspirational quotes or motivational quotes that you like kind of go by on a, maybe not on a daily basis, but something that you kind of stand behind, would you like to share with the audience?
Well, there's so many. There's so many. I think first and foremost, you know, lean not on your own understanding is one that's huge to me. And that specifically talks to us not really trusting ourselves on where we're supposed to be and where we're supposed to go, but really just committing our thought process, our plans, everything to God, and He will direct us where we're supposed to go. That's a huge one for me. But another one is, and we touched on it earlier, is allow your actions to showcase your hopes, not your fears. And that's general in life. You know, yes, I'm fearful that, you know, my daughter might, you know, when she starts driving, get into a car accident, so of course say God forbid, or I may catch something and die, you know, earlier than I would like to, but I'm not going to act in that way. My actions are not, I'm not going to lock her up in a room and be like, you're never going to drive because I'm afraid of you catching a car accident. I'm never going to go outside because I don't want to catch something. Instead, my hopes are that whatever we're doing is going to build into something that is great. It's beautiful, not just for my family, but for our culture. And believe that the steps that we're taking are going to surmount and amount to something. So that's how I try to live my life. That's how I try to get up every day and attack it. Yeah, I fall flat on my face multiple times a day, all the time. You know, I mean, I need encouragement just like anybody, but I try to go back to those things. Trust God first, trust His plans. I don't know everything. You know what I mean? The man that says he knows everything knows nothing at all. You know what I mean? We learn every single day. So understand first and foremost that I don't know anything compared to what God knows. So I'd rather trust Him than trust myself, and really allow your actions to be strategic. And I'm not talking about just talking about it and saying, yeah, today I'm just going to do something to, you know, move my needle forward, you know what I mean? But be strategic, sit down, write a plan, detail your day, build in a physical activity, build in mental, mental exercise, build in things that you can learn. You know what I mean? Successful people are continuous learners. Shout out to Pastor Rob again. That's one of his. Successful people always learn. If you look at even Warren Buffett, a lot of people don't know Warren Buffett still gets up at 5 in the morning and reads newspapers for 2 hours before he starts his day, because that's his world, right? That's where he operates. So he has to continuously learn. What are we doing to learn the areas which we say we want to operate? So that would be, some of the advice I would give some people that would want to start, not just start a business, but really making, an impact in their lives and where they want to go.
And you mentioned this before, like leaning on your own understanding. What does that mean? What does that really mean when you dig down deep into yourself? Like, how do you know you're leaning on your own understanding?
I'd say there's two ways to really look at that. One, from the godly perspective, is, am I doing something that's going to glorify myself or glorify him? Because if we really look at it, we're egotistical by nature, right? And we want whatever we want for ourselves, and our actions are going to depict that. So I try to, as much as I can, look at decisions I'm going to make to move in a certain direction and say, is that going to bring me praise or is that going to bring him? And if it's bringing me praise, that immediately tells me that I've already left out, forget God, I've left out my wife and my kids, because I'm doing it for me, right? And selfishness will impact your decision making, which will impact your trajectory in life. It's just how it is. But then if you take it as a literal, thing, is, what do you really know? If you think about it, what do you really know? From today to tomorrow, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because life continuously moves and evolves. So what you know now is irrelevant tomorrow.
Right.
Yes, there's certain foundational things like, there's gravity. Right, cool. That that will always stay, that there's gravity, that's knowledge that's relevant. But in terms of direction, in terms of how to handle situations, we don't know anything. Right? As a society, we've come to this point where we trust our own instincts in how to govern ourselves, and look where that's gotten us. Right? We really don't know anything, individually, let alone as a collective. We really don't know anything from day to day. So those things keep me, striving to continuously learn, and striving to continuously take myself out of the equation and make sure that I'm not doing things out of an egotistical need or something just to satisfy something within myself.
Okay. Wow, that's a whole word.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, that's like, it's needed. We all can learn from each other. We could learn from the fact that, as real as you put it, like today we learned something, but tomorrow we know nothing. You know what I mean? So we just got to keep learning. It's super important. Okay, so I just want to thank you for coming on. But before you go, you got to let everybody know again where we can find your honey and where you're going to be this weekend. So in case anybody's in the area or wants to join you, come down to support, they know where to go.
All right, cool. First, I want to thank you so much for having me on. I was like, wait, why would you want to interview me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why me? Like, and I'm even though I'm a very social person, I'm very private with certain things. So this is very different for me to be able to, do this. So thank you so much for inviting me on and sharing your platform with us. It's a beautiful thing to see, us supporting one another and building each other up. But for the honey, you can DM us on Instagram for your orders. And I say for this week, because hopefully this weekend we'll be launching the website, and you can go to lignumhoney.com to order your honey directly through the site there. If you want to go to an actual location to pick it up, you can either go to Just Convenience Jerk Stop in Whitby. I can just get the address for you right quick. So that address is 1910 Dundas Street East, Unit 118 in Whitby. You can go there to get your lignum honey there if you're in the east side of the city. Or on Saturday, we'll be launching our partnership with Classic Juice Company. They're located at 287 Coxwell Avenue in Toronto. You can come down. We'll be there for at least 2 to 3 hours, tasting honey, letting people taste the different flavors of honey, and you can come down and get your juices there as well. Amazing group of people that own that place. Shout out to them. So yeah, those are the places you can get the honey for now. We're excited on where things are going, and we have some other partnerships in the work. So hopefully we can get a place in the west side of the city as well, so people don't have to go all the way to the east to get it. But yeah, that's where you can get the honey. If you really want to, taste the experience, taste some liquid gold, experience what we're putting out there. You know what I mean?
Awesome. So on Saturday, what time are you guys going to be at the Classic Juice?
So I'm going to be there from 11 till about, I'd say 11 till 2, the at minimum.
Okay.
Knowing me, after I'm done my thing, I'll probably hang out with them for a bit and, eat some food and drink some juice and crack some jokes and stuff like that. So even if you come in and, we're not, have the stall up per se, we'll still conversate, we'll still educate, we'll still allow you to taste some of the honey. We'll be there. You know what I mean? But come by, say hello. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So thank you again for coming on. It was my pleasure to talk to you and learn about some honey, learn about these bees, and you brought a lot of different education on the show tonight. So I just want to thank you for coming on. All right. And
no problem. Sorry, I don't know what happened with this thing, why the
that's okay.
camera stopped working, but I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your platform and what you're doing for our community.
No problem. No problem. So definitely we will see you guys again. And I can't wait to try all of the different flavors of the honey, because I just keep adding more and more to my to my thing. It's just so nice. It tastes so good. All right. Well, you have yourself a wonderful evening, okay?
Thanks. You
God
too.
bless.
God bless.
All right. Take care. Bye. Wow. That was amazing, guys. You definitely, I just keep scooping it. I don't know if you guys could hear the spoon stirring over here in my thing, my iced tea, but it's delicious. So yes, that was amazing, amazing, amazing. We learned so much different things about honey, but we also learned about ourselves as well. And that's the purpose of What's the 411. That's why I love to do this show, because I believe that everybody has a story. Everybody, especially in our community and even outside of our community, we can all inspire and motivate each other to do different things. And once we're staying in our lane, doing our thing, somebody can motivate you to do more than what you're doing right now. And one thing I've learned in my own life is that we can always do more. There's always something else that we can do. There's something else that we could contribute. There's something else that we could do to inspire or motivate somebody else. So I appreciate you guys hopping on, and I appreciate you educating yourselves with me while I educate myself. And I also want to inspire you to join another page that I have going on. This is something new that I recently just started. So I do What's the 411, and I actually used to be on the radio at Unity FM. And I was doing these interviews on the radio. So I was doing this for about a year, and then the COVID-19 came in. So I was like, oh my gosh, I had all these interviews lined up and I had nowhere to do them. And then one of my interviews was like, why don't you just go? Actually, it was Nicole Salmon. Shout out to Nicole. She was the one who actually, was like, why don't you we could do an Instagram live if you want to. And I was like, should I do the Instagram live? I don't know. I was just canceling them left, right, and center. And then so I just decided to do the Instagram live, and I've been getting a lot of good response from it, and it's a different vibe. on the Instagram live. So I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me. And I would like to invite you to support another venture that I have going on. I am a mother. I have three beautiful children. I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Okay. I have two daughters and a son. And I feel like in the Black community, we need to get together as parents. So I've started just an Instagram page. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with it right now. I'm not sure how we're going to be moving forward and getting together, but it's called the Federation of Black Parents Toronto. So you can Google it, just put it in the search engine, Federation of Black Parents TO, and it's going to come up on Instagram. I haven't set up where we're going to meet, how we're going to like do a platform, like what platform we're going to use to, get together and get people's ideas. But I feel like as Black parents, we need to figure out what an education system needs to look like for our children. What do we want to see our children learning? And as Kenneth was talking about today, economics is huge. We need to teach our children about economics, but there are so many other things that we need to make sure that are in the forefront of our children's education. Black history. Our children are not taught Black history in their schools. I was volunteering at my kids' school this year, and I remember feeling so weird about asking the principal if I could do a Black history board. I got the go ahead, I did the Black history board, but it just wasn't enough. There was so much information that I could have put on that board. And I just felt like the little board that I got didn't have the space to put our Black history on that. And then it's torn down after the 28 days or whatever. And then, we went into quarantine. So everything's just gone. There was no room for me to be in the school anymore to just talk about the other Black kids who so needed it. I got a great response from not only the teachers, but the kids that need to see Black leadership. They need to see, what we've done, our history. They need to see how much inventions that we have under our belt. They need to see things about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and the list goes on and on and on, right? So I feel like it's really important for us as Black parents, and this is not only for the parents, this is for everybody that has children in their lives. If you are a guardian, if you're an auntie, an uncle, a grandparent, if you're a cousin, a friend, anybody, we need to educate our children because I believe the children are our future. We don't even have to say that because we know it's the truth. We were all there one time, you know what I mean? And I look back at my life and I'm like, wow, time goes by really fast. My firstborn is 10 years old. She was born in 2010. And when 2020 was ringing in, I was like going crazy. I'm like, I cannot believe how 10 years has passed so quickly. And so now that 10 years has passed, another 10 could go just as fast, maybe even faster, because we know how quickly those teenage years go, right? As soon as you get into high school or whatever, you start to turn into a little young lady or a young man. Time goes by really fast. So before time escapes us, I want us to group together and try to think of what we can do to help our children's future, how we can build a community for them and be the right example for them because they're watching us. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, we are their biggest example. We are the staple for them. So we have to show them, you know what, I may not agree with everything that Bob, Sarah, John, whoever does, but we have to learn how we're going to work together because it's for the future of our children. And I may not want to work with you right now, but guess what? We have to do it because our kids may become best friends in the future. And even if they don't become best friends in the future, we still have to learn how to work together because we're not always going to be on the same page or on the same, not moving in the same direction all the time. We're not going to agree with everything that anybody else is doing because we all have our own ways of doing things, but we have to learn a different way. And I feel as Black people in our community, it's time. This whole situation with George Floyd, I was just talking about it today, is very, very sad. But there are so many situations that have happened before George Floyd. And this is like when you're cooking a pot and you throw in that last dumpling or that last potato and it just bubbles the pot over. That's what the situation is. Like the pot has now bubbled over. What are we going to do about it? Like, what are we really going to do? And I think it begins with us as the adults. We definitely need to make that change. So I want to inspire all of you to join that federation. Jump onto that Instagram handle and add yourself. I'm just going to be starting off with simple posts every single day. I'm going to try to put them out every day. And then I have an email address that I also set up for the Federation of Black Parents. So make sure that you get on that. I'm going to start a website. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with the website, or if I'm going to do a Zoom meeting, or I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It was just on my heart to do it since February, actually, since I was in the school and I did that Black History board. And so I just decided that this is the time now. I think it's opportunity arises over, this situation. We need to definitely get together as a community and figure out how we are going to move forward and how we're going to bring our kids along positively to make sure that they are inspired by us. And yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for hopping on today. It was an awesome interview with Kenneth. Make sure you head over to, where's the address here? I just wrote it down. It's on the other side. Whitby, 1910 Dundas Street, to pick up some liquid honey or liquid golds. And if you're around the Coxwell Avenue this weekend on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., make sure you hit up Classic Juice Company. Okay, so that's 287 Coxwell Avenue today, Saturday, sorry, between 11 and 2. And you could do a taste test over there. They're taste testing, they're sampling, and of course, I'm sure he's going to be selling some of his delicious honey. Okay, so make sure you guys get over there, pick up the honey. This is the Blue Mountain honey. It tastes delicious. The other honey that I got from him was the Scotch bonnet pepper, and wow, that one is spicy, but whew, barbecue sauce. Nothing, ain't nobody love barbecue better than me. I love my barbecue, so I'm definitely going to whip up a sauce with that, and I can't wait. Okay, so again, I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. All right, have a good one. Bye.